Experience Cyclone Filter Cleaner, the smarter, faster way to clean your pool filter. Tired of slow and messy filter cleaning that leaves your back hurting? Cyclone Filter Cleaner changes that. Now you can clean 4 filters in 15 minutes. Designed by pool pros, its spinning action reaches deep into every pleat without you bending over. Just connect your hose, slide the filter on, and watch the magic happen. Clean smarter, faster, and easier with Cyclone Filter Cleaner.
Hey pool pros, tired of roasting under the sun in gear that doesn't hold up? Rev'd Up Apparel has your back with SPF protected apparel made for the pool pro. Want to stand out from the competition? Done. No minimum orders, no inventory stress. We handle the design, posting, printing, and fulfillment, so you can focus on the grind. Whether you're a single poler or managing a whole fleet, this is how you gear up smart and stay sharp. Check out Rev'dUpApparel.com. Built for the pool pro, designed for the proud.
This episode is brought to you by Skimmer. Trusted by over 30,000 pool service pros across North America, Skimmer software helps you save time, grow revenue, and boost your 5-star reviews. Whether you're just starting out or owning the market, Skimmer's easy-to-use tools and expert support have you covered. Upgrade your business in 2025 with Skimmer. Visit getskimmer.com/tip of the day to try Skimmer for free for 30 days.
Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Vac Bags, a global brand that's locally owned and operated, providing pool debris bags to pool guys in SoCal, so your pool can be debris-free for the weekend. More info at vacbags.com, VACBAGZ.com.
Yeah. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, and listen to the big homie Pete the Pool Guy. Dropping game, keep it real, put the knowledge on deck. From backyard pools to collecting them checks. Ain't no gimmicks, no stress, just some free flow talk. Breaking bread, building up, gotta walk that walk. From the glory to the hustle, every move got a plan. If you work it the right way, you can level up, man. Pool Full Podcast, let's vibe. Game so deep, let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Pool Full Podcast, let's vibe. Game so deep, let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Pool Food Podcast. It's your boy Pete the Pool Guy. You already know. Today's a good episode. We have my brother here, Max from Fresh Pools. Max, how's it going, brother?
Hey, what's up, Pete? Thanks for inviting me onto the show today. Looking forward to this.
For sure, man. Hey, this podcast is to get to know you and share your experience. This is for like all the beginner pools out there. Single pool guys that are trying to learn, how to make their business successful, and see if you got any tips for them. How does that sound?
I'm excited. Hopefully I'll be able to bring some value to them. We'll see though.
Awesome. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it for sure. But let's get to know Max. Who was Max before pools?
Ooh, Max before pools. Let's see, I grew up with a pool, so there was a small time when I didn't have a pool. But Max before Fresh Pools, I was actually for the last 10 years in the financial technology space, specifically in payment processing. So I do have another business, Maximize Payment Solutions, that I still got going on the side here.
I caught that and I like it. Maximize.
Yeah, yep, you got it right there.
I like it.
Maximize Payment Solutions. But yeah, I was doing payment processing for or have been doing payment processing for over a decade. Kind of fell into it. When I was in college, I actually wanted to get into medicine and medical school. And so I took psychology with an influence in the sciences. I liked the thought of going into psychiatry, which you need a medical degree for. And so I had done most of the classes. I had walked and was looking to get medical experience before making my applications in medical school. Long story short, I was interviewing a bunch of guys that were doing medical device sales, and they're like, you know what? If I could go back, I would get into tech sales. And that just kind of led to different conversations, networking with people, where I got introduced to a gentleman who worked at company was called First Data, and it's now called Fiserv. And he introduced me into the tech space of financial payments. And I fell into it, did it for
Hold on,
10 years.
For us that aren't really computer savvy, what does that mean? What kind of work is that?
So, relating it to pools, if you're using a pool service software, a lot of times the guys here are going through Stripe, and Stripe is a payment processor, or Square is a payment processor. So I was actually working with businesses, local businesses, a lot of restaurants, maybe online businesses. And instead of having them go through Stripe, where the customer service may have been lacking and plans aren't customized, they would come to me and I would be their customer service. I would sell them the contract, have more control over the rates that they were getting. And that's how I basically would build a book of business. Really great industry, really good business, works off of residual revenue, which, pool guys, we all know and love those residuals. But the difference is you don't have to go clean a pool to earn it. So you set up the residual and it keeps coming month after month. So it's a great industry, great business. But the reason why I decided to get into pools was, for me, Fresh Pools isn't just about creating a business. It's about creating an impact and being able to make an impact, not just for me and my family, but our community, and being able to grow something and build something that can give back to the community and also provide jobs for other people in the community. And that's really my goals and aspirations with this company and this business, is to build it in such a way that I can help younger guys or older guys, really, and provide for them a lifestyle that they can then, just grow off of and pursue their own dreams.
You're talking about giving back to the community. That's a big mission, and it takes a special kind of mindset for that. And what put you in that mindset? What put that in your heart to say, you know what, I want to build something that's going to help people out, instead of automatically thinking like everybody else, how can I make more money? How can I be successful? But you're actually thinking of others.
Yeah, I mean, I've always that's a really good question, and all I can really say is, that's the mission that God put in my heart. It's just kind of been ingrained in me from being a youth, or from my youth. I participated in team sports, and I always gravitated to be the communicator on the team, who was calling plays or calling the action and telling people where to go, where to be, in payment processing and in that space. I got into a role where I was, at one point, it was a long journey. I'm not going to go into all of it, but at one point I was managing a team and working in distribution. And I really liked helping develop the sales talents and help them grow and hit their numbers, help them put more money in their pockets. I'm a big fan of Zig Ziglar, to be honest with you. I really love Zig. I love all the Ziggies. And he would always say something along the lines that it was like, you can get everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. And so,
wow, that's pretty powerful. Yeah, for sure. Man, that's awesome. That I love talking to people who have that kind of mindset. How did pools come into play?
Yeah. So the way I kind of ended up and chose pools is, I I like doing pools. Growing up, I had a pool, and I would, take care of that. That was one of my weekly chores of, going out, brushing, testing the chemicals. I would throw in some, shock. My dad handled the acid. He didn't trust me with that, but I would do the shock, and I would clean the filters. And so I enjoyed it. And then we were living in Northern California, my family and I, my wife and our kids, and we moved to Arizona 2 years ago now. And when we bought here, we had a pool, and so I started taking care of the pool again. And again, I enjoyed it. I liked being outside, working on my tan. I got some pretty good tan lines from this
Bro,
last summer.
I don't gotta go outside for that, but I still get tanned. I still get tanned for sure.
Yeah, some of us have to earn that, Pete. But so I just really like doing it, and then just looking at the world and economics and seeing that the baby boomer generation, a lot of them had these service industry companies, and they were getting ready to retire. And so my wife and I were talking, like, well, we would really love to learn more about the service industry, learn about those businesses. So maybe we can put ourselves in position to, acquire them and make different investments. And so I'm a big believer that you have to kind of go through the fire and learn it first, And so that's where pools came into play. Is I saw this as an opportunity. There's lots of pools where we are. I enjoy doing it. The barrier to entry is lower than, let's say, like an electrician or HVAC, where I'd have to go do like an apprentice. And so that's where I was like, okay, we'll go with pools. And then also I found a really great group of people here locally that are just amazing pool guys, pool pros, some of them that you've had on the show, where they were willing to mentor me and just educate me. And they've really been there for me the whole way of, as a resource to gain education. So it would be doing myself a disservice not to use that and to go into a different industry. And so that also helped me choose to go into pools.
Okay. But you already had previous experience in regards of owning your own business. So this was just another chapter to that book, right?
Yeah. I'd owned my own business before. I didn't have employees. And so that will be a new hurdle for me, but I do have experience where I've managed teams in different companies. So had employees while I was working at other companies, but as far as figuring out the benefits and payroll, that's all going to be a new challenge for me. And something I'm really looking forward to learning. I know a lot of pool guys that I've talked to, they will go the 1099 route for simplicity reasons and do that. And there might be a time, where I do that, but my real goal is to go W-2 and not just, provide guys with an income, but an education and training and the whole enchilada. Like I have this vision, whether it's mine or it was, given to me from God. I do have this vision that we're working towards of building something that these people it'll have an impact on not just them as individuals, but their life, their family. And that's what we're looking to do.
Dude, that puts a smile on my face because it's like I'm talking to the mirror right now, bro. Seriously. Like when I started the business, I'm a believer. I believe in God and I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And when I started the business, I've always felt like he's put that in my heart to help people out any way I can. And that's why I started the Tip of the Day. That's why I started the Pool Food Podcast. That's why I put myself out there in the line of fire, because I'm like, you know what? I know what it's like when you're starting off and you don't got nobody that's going to help you out, or you don't even know where to look. Yeah, YouTube's there, but you don't even know, what do I push? What do I put type on there? All that stuff. And I was like, if I could be that for somebody and help them out, I'm doing something, man. I'm putting in work. So when I started the business, I always had that mentality of, you know what? I want to make it a company that has employees and takes care of their employees and it's a family thing. You know, it sounds corny like a Fast and the Furious, but it's family, bro. To me, it's before he ruined it, before Don ruined it, bro. To me, it was like that's what it was about, you know. So, and what that means to me is if you're part of my family, is I'm gonna take care of you, and as well as you're gonna take care of me. So we're gonna take care of each other, and we're all gonna make money here together and be in a good spot. So when you said that, man, I was like, hell yeah. I like that. I like that mindset because you're not being selfish with it. You're not just like, okay, it's just me and my family. We're just going to level up on our own. But nah, man, let's level up our neighbors. Let's level up our community. Let's level up these other pool guys that want to become something, do something with their lives. Big props, bro.
Thank
Big
you.
props on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know the saying, rising tide raises all ships, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what we're looking to do. And we're looking to do it from what I can tell, a little bit different than some of the other guys have done it. I don't know. I mean, I've talked to some different people. I haven't quite found people who have done it the way that this vision I have, but we'll see. We'll see. And what
You
I
know,
mean by that,
I was gonna say my vision is I call it a one-stop shop. Like
okay,
anything pool related. Like I want to have a department that does repairs. I want to have the department that does bead blasting, a department that does the service, you know, like a team designated for everything. And then under one roof, under one company. That's the vision that God put in my heart, bro. That's
I
what I'm
love that.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. What about
Yeah.
yours? Tell me about yours.
So, my first off, I gotta say, my wife, she's amazing, and without her, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. Just an extremely hard worker who's pushing me to level up my game. And she works in the tech space, so she works in the Silicon Valley tech space and has that experience around tech companies. And then with what I was doing before, I had some experience with different tech. And so we're looking to build this pool company like a tech company. And people are like, well, what does that mean? Well, if you're a software engineer and Google reaches out to you and Google's like, hey, we're going to give you a job, they're not just going to give you, a salary with benefits, but they're also going to say, hey, we're going to give you X amount of shares. You're going to get company ownership. And then that's going to vest, meaning you actually get to keep it over, 5, 6, 7 years.
Yo.
And that's what we want to do is I want to bring in techs who maybe have a little experience, maybe no experience, say, hey, when you come join, I'm going to give you ownership of this company and you get to keep that ownership once you've been here 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. So when we have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 pools,
you're benefiting from it. Yeah.
And we have a company come in that wants to buy us out for 10, 15, $20 million, whatever. When we sell, you're getting $100,000 paycheck. Take that and go buy a house. Take that, go buy another business or start your own business. So, I mean, can you imagine being like 25 and getting like this, fat paycheck to be able to go buy a house for your family? Or
I can't because I'm 42, but I wish I would.
But yeah, like imagine like if you were in that position, or if when you started in pools, you were at a company like that. And your starting point would be a completely different starting point. Like this, that's how you change lives. And that's why I say it's about impact. It's about impact over the money.
Yeah. Stock within the company.
Yep.
Yeah. I used to work for companies that provided that to us. And dude, that's actually very, very, very smart. A smart way of putting things together, man. Where did you get this knowledge from? Was it from your previous employment or?
Just experience, man, and talking to people, doing podcasts from different industries. I mean,
yeah,
I've done a lot of different things. And then as I mentioned too, like my wife, like before I was, self-employed, I would tell my employers like, hey, you're not just getting me, you're getting my wife.
Yeah.
Because we like at the end of the day, we get the kids to bed and her and I, like, we just like our hobbies are entrepreneurial things. Like that's our hobbies. Like she's a writer and talks to me about her work, or talks about her authoring and writing and how she's going to market that. And I talk about my payment processing business. I talk about my pool business. We talk about social media marketing. Like that's like our hobby. So we
Always
just keep,
hustling, bro.
yeah, it's not something, it's just kind of who we are, you know? And
That's
so
awesome.
when you have someone like that in your life, your best friend is just like constantly, she shares tips with me, I share things with her. And like I said, she is a hustler. She doesn't like that term, but she's a hard worker.
Hard
Uh
worker.
hard worker.
Yeah, yeah. Hard
Um
worker. I like that one. Yeah.
and I can honestly say she's probably like one of the top people in the country at what she does.
Wow.
And what she does is I mentioned she works for tech companies. She's a technical recruiter, meaning that she's recruiting software engineers for her company. And these software engineers are they're the guys that are doing the development of, AI. Like they're AI developers, cutting edge developers, best in not just the country, best in the world at what they do. And so she reaches out to them, has conversations with them, and she has to have the conversation about how much stock and things they get. So I get to pick her brain and learn from
Yeah,
her a
yeah,
lot.
that's awesome because you get to get all of those ideas that big companies are using and apply them to your business and
Yeah.
have that same mindset so that the employee also benefits from whatever is to come, whatever is out there in the future.
Yeah.
Now we were talking off air about your logo. I love your logo. I think it's super cool. Being back in the day in high school, I used to be a tagger. I
Yeah.
had my background, So when I saw your logo, that's what right away caught me. How did it come up?
So yeah, the way the logo came up is came up with Fresh Pools. And basically when my wife and I were talking about the pool business and what we wanted to name it, um we came up with like all these different ideas, and I wanted it to be something that I could market it continually and not get bored of it. So I was
Mm,
thinking of things like, okay, what do I like? And I'm a huge fan of The Office, and so I was like, okay, maybe I could do
nice.
something silly like Dunder Mifflin Pools, like, or
That
Michael
would have
Scott Pools, like
that
just
would
do
have been
something
cool.
outrageous that would get
Yeah.
attention. And then I was like, oh, I was looking into it, Chat GPT, and I was like, oh, there might be potential lawsuits if I do something like that. But then I was also, in high school, I really liked the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like I love
Dude,
that, man.
okay. Yes, that's where I was looking at it as you were talking. I was like, it's got to be Fresh Prince. It's got to be.
Yeah. And so like I would get like I had these like outrageous stunner shades before stunner shades were like, in neon colors. I was all about like I graduated high school in 2006, but my style was 90s. Like that was I liked
Nice.
it. And so I was like, okay, well, Fresh Prince, Fresh Pools. And so that came together, and then that was the inspiration behind the logo. As you can see, it's very Fresh Prince inspired
Yeah, now that you
colors.
say it, now that you've said it, I'm like, okay, I see it now. I
Yeah,
definitely see it now. And that was the logo was also very um graffiti style.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, um, and I've done, yeah. So that's kind of where that came from. I used like Chat GPT. I would like tell it kind of like, okay, this is what I'm looking for, and it kind of gave me like a basic, took the idea and put it to life, and then from there, um, I sketched it out and stuff and drew it, and then took that to Fiverr and had a guy on Fiverr redo it and make it all pretty and perfect for me. So
Nice. Now we know how important a logo is because not only it speaks on you, it speaks on your type of work that you put, but also your personality. So seeing your logo, I could see the personality, easygoing, funny, likes to have fun, and that's awesome. So in regards of getting business, getting clients, does the logo attract clients? How does that work for you?
yeah, no, absolutely. So that was all by design as well. So once I kind of like, I was like, okay, I mentioned I like The Office and Fresh Prince. I was like, well, who's my target market? Like, who are the people I'm going after? And right now, a lot of the home buyers and people with families are people who grew up watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So that
That's true.
also kind of went into it of like, okay, this is going to be a logo, a brand that speaks to those people, speaks to the people who, enjoy the goofiness so that Will Smith brought to that character and just that kind of funky, fun vibe, fresh.
Yeah.
And so I get a lot of people when they see it, they'll see it and like, oh yeah, Fresh Prince. I'm like, yeah, you got it, fresh. And so to me, that's a huge compliment that they can see my brand and see that and put those two things together. And it also gives me just like a lot of opportunity to be fun in my creative, whether that's like on my website that I built or Instagram, those things. It allows me to be unpredictable, and I really enjoy that. I like not having those limits and constraints. Like if I was a more serious brand, it would be hard to do.
What do clients or potential clients think of the logo?
They're just like, oh, fresh, like Fresh Prince. And it's
Yeah.
funny, like, yeah, they get it right away. I don't think I've had a single person be like, oh, fresh, like fresh water. Like they get it. Like they immediately know,
You're
oh
like
yeah,
you're not my demographic.
yeah,
Right
no,
off the
they
bat.
immediately get it, like, oh, fresh pools. And I'm actually really excited. Yesterday I dropped my truck off to get it wrapped. So I've been
Nice.
working on that. I'll pick it up next week.
Dude, you
I'm
better make a video of it.
I've been thinking about it, like how I'm gonna do it.
And do the theme song to the Fresh Prince as the background, dress up like that guy and handle, bro. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So I've been trying to think, like, I wonder if I could find like a bed sheet big enough to put it over the old truck or something.
Oh, like a reveal.
Yeah, and do like a reveal. I've posted it on my Facebook, like some different options. And so kind of shifting gears, to
Yeah.
social media strategies and marketing, and getting out there. I'll do things like when I was designing my truck, I had a couple different options, and I'll take that to my audience and say, hey, which one do you guys like? Like my friends and family and people on Facebook, which one do you like? To get them involved so that they know what I'm doing and they get invested in the brand, invested in the company. Because then when people are like, oh, I like that version, and they see me going with that version, it just meshes that relationship with them even more.
Yeah, it makes
Um,
them feel like they had something to do with that.
yeah, and makes
Definitely.
them want to support me more. So yeah, no,
So
I'll do a reveal for sure though.
heck yeah. So since we started talking about social media and marketing, that's a good segue to how do you utilize social media for your business, for getting no clients, for putting your brand out there?
Yeah, so I had a friend and mentor who would say, and I don't think he coined the phrase, but he would say, people don't, if they don't know you, they can't flow you, right? So they got to know you to be able to flow to you, whether that's leads or coming to you as business. So the big thing on social media is you have to get attention, all right? And so knowing how to get attention, get people to stop scrolling. And so fortunately with like our brand, that's something that I can do. I have lots of different options and different ways that I can do that. And so we use social media. I've gotten a few clients off of like Instagram. Nextdoor has been a big one, whether or
Yeah.
not you consider Nextdoor social media.
It
Facebook.
kind of is if you're in next door and you
Yeah.
just start scrolling, man, that feed looks just like social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Facebook. So I use all three of them and I use them differently. So like Facebook, if it's my personal, so I have my Facebook and Instagram connected, the business pages. So
Right.
anything I post on Instagram goes to my business page on Facebook, and people aren't interacting with the business page on Facebook, right?
Right.
But they interact with my personal brand on Facebook. So I'll take things and reshare them to my personal page on Facebook and just share things like about life, common everyday things. If I'm working on a pump or something, I might share that, or I find a dead animal in the
Yeah.
skimmer basket, like that on Facebook, like people like that kind of stuff. Um, I shared one of my clients actually came to me because we had this tragedy is a big word for it, but for lack of a better word, I'm going to call it tragedy. Where we were on this family vacation and somebody broke into our family car
Mhm.
and they stole my laptop, they stole my iPad, they stole my wife's computer, all this stuff. And I posted that on Facebook, as well as, and I said something along the lines like, I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for these things in return, but if anybody needs pool service, I would love, to be able to support my business. And so I got a client from that, a customer from that. Um, and so doing things like that on Facebook works well. Um, but then on Instagram, it's more of the daily stuff,
The daily grind.
the daily grind kind of stuff. And then you have your feed, like your reels, and then your stories. So the stories are, as you know, um, they're just there for 24 hours. So those are things that I don't really want to live on the page forever. Just little quick check-ins with people, and that keeps my current audience engaged with me. And that's important. It's important that you keep that current audience engaged, because if they're not engaging with you in your stories, that means your reels aren't going to pop up on their feed.
Mm-hmm.
So Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, he always talks about doing like a 1-2 punch. For people who know who Gary V is, he's like, yeah, you got this 1-2 punch. And I think of my feed and my stories on Instagram as like that 1-2 punch. So like on the stories, that's my, my jab, and then my reels will be that cross.
Yeah.
So just using those two together to create as much engagement as possible is really effective. And people know who you are, know where to find you. And then when they need you, something happens, their pool pump starts leaking, or their filter starts leaking, or they need a filter change. If you're consistent online, you're going to be top of mind, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, Max does that. Fresh Pools, they do that. I'm going to call him
Yeah.
up. And
I
so
was just gonna say that the for the people that are asking like, well, what's the point? I'm just trying to clean pools. What's the point of me posting on social media over and over and over? It's exactly that. It's staying in somebody's mind. Like,
yeah,
as when they think pools, they think you. They think Max. So that's what you want. And everybody has ADD, man. Everybody will forget you if you stop posting 3 days. A week is like a year, like they already moved on to somebody else's content. And if you're constantly posting, you're constantly on their mind, even if they don't watch your full video or whatnot. Like you said, it helps them relate you with that thing. So for us would be pools. So whenever a situation comes up, you're right there. You're right
exactly.
there. Yeah.
Exactly. They got to know you to flow you, and you got to be top of mind. And if you're not, someone else is going to come in. And I know that for a fact, because there's been a lot of times where I've been that guy where I've come in, that person may have had a better relationship with Joe Jackson or whoever, but Joe Jackson wasn't top of mind. Max was
Right.
top of mind. And so I came in and I got the job, and that person lost the business because they thought their friendship was just going to be enough. But think about of all the people, Pete, like, a lot of people. I know a lot of people. They're not always going to be fresh in my mind when I need something.
No. Right.
So
You're right.
you got to be the guy. If you're going to go the social media route, if you're going to commit to that, you have to be the guy who's going to be there and showing up and staying top of mind.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. For a lot of the older folks, I'm sorry, but it's something that now we have to do. We have to be on social media. I know a lot of old pool guys that are like, nah, man, I don't mess with social media. I just stick to my grind and do what I do. And my clients will refer me out. Great. If that's what you want, that's awesome. But just the tides changed, and we have to be able to adjust to the new way, which is now social media. Everybody is literally right there. Your audience is right there. Your clients are right there. Your potential clients are right there. You don't have to leave the comfort of your couch, and you could be marketing. You could be talking about your business, promoting yourself. And that's a big one that I learned, and I've stuck with. But the 1-2 combo punch, I do the same thing whenever I post. It's like, okay, each day I'm going to post one story. I'm going to post one actual post and one reel, like a photo, a reel, and a story.
Mhm.
That way, it also helps the algorithm help your followers, see your content. That has helped me out a lot.
Yeah. And there's a couple tricks that you can do. So like the way I explain it to people is, because I'll be honest with you, Fresh Pools, this isn't the first social account that I've built out. So I've been able to come in with a different experience from what I've learned in the past. But basically you have all these different tools, whether that's stories or reels, posts, just regular photos, carousels, I guess is the proper term for it, that you can use. And all those tools get used differently by the Instagram algorithm. So if you are familiar with them and know how to leverage them, it creates a machine that then attracts your ideal audience and keeps people engaged with you. So, for example, we talked about Instagram stories a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So Instagram stories, they last on your feed for 24 hours, and then they go unless you archive them. But you can do little things in your stories, like you can put a Q&A, or you can put a box that says, ask me a question. So if you have people that follow you for pool advice, you can put a question, be like, hey, ask me about my favorite brand of my favorite net to use, or something. Or ask me a question about my tools, And the reason why that's a good strategy is because then your audience, if you can get them to interact with you in your stories, well, guess what? They're not just interacting on your stories. Now they're moved into your direct messages or your DMs. Okay. So now you've taken somebody, you moved them from your stories, you moved them into your DMs. Well, now in your DMs, you can actually have a one-to-one conversation with them. And that's going to build that relationship. But it's not just going to build the relationship with them, but it's also going to tell the algorithm that they interact with your content. So the next time you post a reel, your reel is going to show up on their feed. So
I didn't know that. So
like
anybody on your DMs will automatically, you'll start seeing their feed a lot more.
Yeah. So like you and I, Pete, we were DMing, this morning. Well, guess what? I hop on my feed. You know what pops up? The reel that you shared this morning. Like,
Really?
it's like right there. So these tools in Instagram, they all work together. They're not isolated. And that's why I say, post stories, do one reel a day or every other day. And guess what? The carousels, those pictures, images, those work differently too. So carousels and images get pushed to your existing audience, and that helps you keep engaged with your existing audience. Whereas the reels, which are the short videos, those get shown more to new audiences,
People that don't follow you.
people that
Yeah.
don't follow you.
Yeah.
And there's even some tricks with that as well. I was talking to another pool pro the other day about social media. And here's a golden nugget, okay? If you don't do this already and you're a pool pro and you want to get in front of new people, turn it up, tell the kids to be quiet. This is a golden nugget here, okay?
Keys to success, people. Keys to success. Let's go.
I don't know about keys to success in pools, but I'll tell you keys to success in social media, right? Is when you go to post your reel, if you have your Instagram set up as a business account, they have something called trial reels. And you might be thinking like, why would I ever do a trial reel? It maybe to see how it performs. But when you put on the trial reel, there's a little disclosure that says this is going to get pushed to non-followers, right? And so the way that I use that is I know that when I post a new reel and I turn on my trial reel, I'm guaranteed to be shown to new people that aren't following me. And that's what I want, right? I want new people. So I'll post it as a trial reel. and I'll let it go for a couple hours or 24 hours, depending on how it performs. And then after it does a trial reel, I'll release it to the rest of my audience. And even if it's only getting like 200 views, that's okay. It's 200 views from someone who weren't following me before. So I'm okay with that.
So the trial reels, your followers can't see them until you actually put it on your reels?
They can pop up, but no, Instagram's not pushing it to them. Yeah. So like,
dude, because I saw the trial reels on my Instagram. Yeah. I didn't know what the heck, and I didn't really dig into it. So this is cool. Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's a cheat code for getting in front of new people. So like I've like posted reels, like some of my reels that have been really strong. I've posted as like a trial reel, and it got 10,000 views before I even pushed it to my feed. And then I pushed it to my feed, and it gets like an additional boost. And it's like, you know, it's getting in front of new people who weren't seeing my content before.
Wow. And those are all potential clients. Those are all potential pipelines of people that could start sending you clients, pool clients, repairs, and stuff like that. Yeah, anything that has to do with pools.
Yeah, and so I would say like the next, so that's how you kind of can build an audience. Like that's very basic things on building an audience on Instagram. And I guess my one last note on that would be you got to think of it as a community. And what you're doing is your audience is your community. You're building a community, and you're the mayor of that community. And the only way that that community is going to participate and do things with you is if you invite them to do that. So having that call to action of, you know, follow for more, or hey, like this, or hey, go follow or subscribe, or whatever call to action, or you need a pool filter clean, you know, call this number. As the mayor, you have to provide an environment for people to engage and interact. And if you can create an environment that does that, Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media is going to love you. Because the goal of social media, of Facebook, the goal of Facebook, goal of Instagram, goal of TikTok, all these companies is to keep people on their platform.
Right. Engaged.
And if you can be the person that does that, who are they going to promote?
Your content. Yeah. And then they'll pay you out. So some of them.
Yeah, some of them. I've never gotten to that point where I've monetized directly from Facebook or Instagram. But I've monetized in other ways. You know, and in this case with pools, of getting new clients. Like that's, and there's tricks too. There's I would say the other thing, I think a big mistake that I see a lot of pool pros make on Instagram is, and I fell into this trap at the beginning, is I would create content, and I was just kind of creating content for me and other pool pros. Like other pool pros were interacting with it, which is great. I loved it. It felt great. But at the end of the day, as much as I love you, Pete, you're not
I don't pay the bills, dog.
Yeah, you don't pay the bills, man. Like yeah, Pete reshared my thing, which helps.
Yeah,
you know?
that's cool, but
it helps like when we reshare each other's stuff, and I think it's good to be promoting each other and help each other.
Yeah,
but yeah, like, you know, you're not gonna pay for my burrito, man. Like,
right? You're not putting my content in the eyes that I need them in. You
exactly.
It makes sense.
And so, like, I see a lot of pool guys do this, and you have to have the mind shift of like, okay, who am I really trying to attract? Who is my target audience specifically? And create content for them and that person. So doing things like, you might see me do a video every once in a while where I'll call out where I live and the people in that area. I'll be like, hey, are you a pool owner in the East? Are you a pool owner in the East Valley, Arizona? And the reason why I verbally say that is because it's called dog whistle marketing, right? So when you blow a dog whistle, only a dog will hear it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying when people hear that, they're scrolling through and they're like, hey, I live in the East Valley. Hey, I own a pool. And I've got their attention a little bit more. But then also Instagram is listening. It's decoding what I'm saying. It knows where people live. and it's pushing my content to those people because they live in that area.
They're always listening.
Yeah. So be careful and thoughtful about who you want to attract. And yeah, so you gotta, don't just like throw stuff out there. Like that's good to help you get consistent, but if you want results, you're gonna have to put in some thoughtful effort onto who you want to attract. And there's nothing wrong with growing an audience for pool pros. Like there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just how are you going to use that then? You know, and there's
Yeah.
there's different ways to use that. Like you can use it to attract talent, to, build your company, to strengthen relationships with distributors, gain sponsors like for different events. Like there's value in that. But a lot of the pool pros I talk to, they're like, oh yeah, I want to get leads. Well, you got to make your content lead friendly then.
Right.
And, they want to talk about things that their customers don't really care about. The customers want a clean pool. They want a clean filter. So show them a video of a clean filter. You don't need to show them a bunch of,
The technical parts of things. Yeah. Screw this many times and you need this and you need that. Nah, they just the before and the after. I think that's why those green to clean videos are very popular, because people like watching that stuff. It's entertaining. You kind of zone out, and it's cool because like you said, now it's fresh in that person's mind. And now they know, hey, that person knows how to do a green to clean. I need a green to clean, man. I want this guy to come through and do the work.
Yeah. So, real quick success story too on all this and what we were chatting about is I was posting videos of me cleaning filters, that before and after stuff. And I actually had somebody call me. He sent me a DM. He's like, hey, am I in your area? He happened to be like 10 minutes away from where I was at that point. I was like, yeah, I can come by your house. And so he just had his pool redone. So I go to his house and give him my spiel, and because he saw me on Instagram and saw some success, he already has an idea in his head of the value that I'm bringing. And he even said, he's like, yeah, maybe you can do a video of my stuff, but that led to me then asking him about who his builder was and who did his renovation. And then that got me in contact with the reno guy. So then now I'm getting more leads from the renovation guy. So it all comes full circle, but that started with me posting on Instagram. If I hadn't posted that video on Instagram, I wouldn't have gotten that lead that became a client, and I would have been connected with now someone who's a potential power partner.
Yeah, definitely. And then on top of that, that's a great idea. If you want to use social media to market your business, and what you do is after the video that you made of a filter cleaning or a green to clean or salt cell cleaning or cleaning a pool, whatever it is that you did, address the viewer and be like, like you said, do you live here, and you need one done? Hit me up, and boom, put your number on there, and people be like, hell yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to take it a step further, let's say that reel gives you some leads. You start getting like 1 or 2 leads. Well, and now it's so easy to just click the boost button and you can boost it, and then now it becomes a paid advertisement and you can have it shown to more and more people. That's a good way to test something before you pay to have it published across the board.
Yeah, definitely. I love using the boost button, especially when I'm trying to target specific areas. That's one of the things that I like. You're able to customize how much money you're willing to spend per day, your budget, and then you get to target the area that you want to market. So if I want to be in a specific part of a city, not just the whole city, but just a specific part of a city, I can market to that specific part of the city. And then I can determine how long I want that video to be out there. And that will get those people to look at your ad for sure.
Exactly. And people might think like, oh, I don't want to pay for ads and stuff. But like, think about it. Like it just adds more credibility to your business. Like if you see,
you gotta be willing to invest money in your business. You got to. It's the only way. I mean, it proves that you believe in yourself. You're putting money down on yourself to say, okay, we're going to do this.
Exactly. Yep. 100%. And people see that, and people are going to take you more seriously as a business too. They're like, oh, this guy is investing in himself. Like, I saw the other day, they're not a pool pro, but a pool builder, right? And I didn't know who they were. But then they got on my radar, and then I saw that they have a billboard, and I was like, dude, this guy's paying for a billboard. Okay, this guy's serious about what he's doing. He's not a fly by night builder. He's putting money into his business to get eyeballs. He's legit. So now I'm more interested in getting to know him and partnering with him, and clients, working with customers. It's the same thing.
Yeah. When approaching a builder, what is your way of approaching them to try to get some, open up a pipeline?
Yeah. So I'm a young pool company. I'll tell you right now, I'm not as young as I look. I'm just going to say that.
How
I'm
old
not,
are you, bro?
I already said I graduated in 2006. So
Oh yeah. My math don't be
I'm coming up
mathing
on, I'll
sometimes.
be coming up on 30. I'll come up on 38 next year, in February. So,
You still young, bro. You
I'm
still
still young.
young. You in the
Yeah.
30s still.
Older.
You could still get up and nothing pops.
That's a whole nother story. I actually have an appointment to see an orthopedic surgeon this month. So,
Oh man.
yeah. I play. You can't tell I'm sitting down. I'm 6'3", almost 6'4". I'm a lot taller, and I hoop, and I've put miles on my knees.
You play
and-
ball.
Yeah. So I put a lot of miles on this body. So it's it's getting there, and the pool stuff doesn't help it. But hey, it's all right. It's actually, so side note. So I'm going to see this orthopedic surgeon. I already had a bad knee, but this pool I was working on had some like black algae, and I actually was like in the pool scraping at it, trying to get this algae off. And I went to go kneel down on the floor of the pool, and I felt this sharp pain, and I thought I put my knee down on a scorpion, and I jumped up, and I was like, what is that? And yeah, long story short, now my knee's jacked up, and
Wait. What'd
I
you put your
can't
knee
kneel.
on?
I just there was nothing there.
What made you think it was a scorpion?
The pain that I felt, I had this like sharp
Like a sting?
yeah, I put my knee down, and I got like this sharp stinging pain in my knee.
Dang.
And I jumped up, and I was like, what is that? There was nothing there. And I would put my knee back down, and the same thing happened. Now I can't kneel. If I put that knee down, I get that sharp pain. So
Yeah.
I did something to my meniscus, or I have a bursitis. I have something going on there. So
Man, that's crazy. You gotta take care of your body because your body is the one that's helping you provide, bro, for
Yep.
sure. But you're getting up there with it. Welcome to the older club, bro. But no, going back to the question, what's your approach on how do you approach pool builders to create that pipeline to be
Good
able to
question.
be like they'll start sending you clients?
Yeah, good question. So first off, I mean, making sure that, well, you got to think about it from their point of view. Like, what are they doing?
What's
right?
their benefit? Right.
What's
How's
their
it good
benefit?
Yeah.
So they just built this pool, right? This beautiful pool, and they're gonna fill it with water, and they want it to stay beautiful, right? And so that when you're doing you have this new pool and you're doing a new fill, like that's critical. It's got to be done right, and a lot of
Right.
them
The
aren't
startup.
doing. Yeah, that startup has to be done right, and then you got to care for that thing. You got to brush it 2-3 times a day as much as possible, especially that first 7 days. And so one thing that I do, first, going back, any talent that I have comes from God, comes from Christ, and that relationship with Him. And one gift that He's given me is the ability to learn, to research. So what I do, or what I've done, is I started learning about fill-ups and startups. A lot of pool guys don't want to do them because it's a lot of work, right?
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work. It is. It's a lot of work, especially in Arizona where it's been like 115 in the summer. Like, it's hot,
Yeah, and it's not like a one and done. Nah, you're going every day to go
No.
do something over. Yeah.
And so right now, while I'm small and it's me and I don't have a ton of customers, I realize that I can put in that effort, right?
Mhm.
I can put in that work. And become an expert at that. So when I meet the builders, my pitch to them is, hey, you've just put all this time into building this beautiful pool. Let's not let it go to waste, because if something goes wrong, right, it comes back on you. Like, we both know at the end of the day. So let me take care of that for you. And so when they give you a shot, you give it everything you got and you kill it and you knock it out of the park and you become that guy that they can trust, because all these pool builders, they're working with, they're working with a lot of subs and different things. And sometimes it's hard to find good subs, right? So when I'm going to be their sub for the startup, man, I'm going to be the guy that shows up. I'm going to be the guy that's over communicating and texting to him and being like, hey, I'm here. Here's a picture. This is what I've done. This is the chemicals that, like, just on top of it, almost to the point where it's like annoying. I'd rather have them tell me, hey, like, cool a little bit, but I want to be just amazing for them. And then I'm going to turn around, and any glory that I get, any props that I get from the pool owner, dude, it's this guy who built your pool, man. His pool is beautiful. They did such a good job. Oh, this is great. I'm going to make them look like a rock star. I'm going to post their stuff on social media. I'm going to do all this stuff to make them look, and not just look, but show what they can do.
The quality of their work.
So next time they need that and it's in my area, who are they going to call?
Come on. No brainer.
No brainer. Exactly. And then there's other things that you can do too, is like, you got to take care of their people, So if you got a pool builder who wants you to do the startup and the pool's not done and you know where it is and you know when his crew's out there shooting plaster or whatever, I'm going to show up with a case of Monsters or Rock Stars or drinks and some donuts, and I'm going to feed his crew. I'm going to take care of his crew. That way, his crew is like, dude, Fresh Pools, man. Like, you got to work with Fresh Pools. They take care of us.
Every time he does a pool that doesn't get you, his employees are going to be like, hey, bro, why didn't you use Fresh Pools, man? Yep. Dude, I didn't even think about that. That's actually a really, really good idea. Take care of his people so that his people keep your name in their mouths when it comes down to other pools.
Yeah. Make yourself so valuable that they can't do the job without you. Or they can, but it's not going to be as good. And then, so those are some of the strategies that I've been working on. Like I said, I'm new to the industry, so this is all.
How new are you to the industry?
I launched Fresh Pools this year. So I launched it, I started it in January. I didn't get my truck until June. So
You're
fresh.
Fresh.
I'm fresh. Originally,
You're fresh, bro. You're green.
The original plan.
But
I survived my first summer though.
Dude, no. I'm not hating. I'm like literally propping you up, because I'm like, for the listeners, like, listen to this guy. He just started. He's been in the business going on a year, or you've been on it for a year already?
I'm under a year. So technically the LLC was filed in January. I didn't start getting my first pool until I did my first filter. I charged $99 to a neighbor, and I think in April. That led to a referral. So I picked up my first pool in May, and then I got my truck in June. And this last month, I think I've billed for the month of September, I think about $7,000 for the month of September. So I got the truck, and the original plan, like I keep saying, I got my truck in June. My original plan was to focus on my community. There's 250 homes in my area, in my community, and I got a golf cart, and I was going to be the golf cart pool guy. But I started getting referrals outside, and so I was like, man, I need a truck. And and like I wanted, so you've had Zach on here from Pineapple Pool Boys.
Yeah, great guy.
Zach's the man.
Great guy. I talk to him all the time on the phone.
Yeah. So I mean, Zach, without him, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. Like, he's just been so. Like such a
I
blessing.
like his honesty, bro.
Yeah,
I like his flat out honesty.
brutal honest.
No
Yeah,
sugarcoating.
and you know what?
Yes
Like
or no.
that too. His honesty gets him great customers because
Heck
he'll be
yeah.
honest with them, and so he has a great business going for him. But so Zach, wanting like being able to work with him. So I needed a truck, and like I would go work for him for free, and I would just go like he'd let me come ride in his truck, and it would be 115 out, and I would just go pool hopping with him, cleaning pools, and just ask him question after question after question.
Wait, so is Zach your mentor?
Zach is one of my mentors for sure.
Oh, man, you got one of the good ones.
I got one of the best in the. I really do. I got one of the best in the state. So generous with his time, so generous with his knowledge, his resources.
Yeah.
So, for the guys who are starting out, even the old guys too, like you're only as good as your team. And my team right now is my mentors. So going to people like Zach, other people on Instagram that like you that share things. I watch videos, I learn from those. And then a big one that is probably underutilized is your reps for different brands.
A
So
rep
like,
will drive out there and do the job with you.
yeah,
People don't realize that. Like, if you want to install a board, anything that has to do with their specific brand, Pentair, Hayward, Jandy, whatever it is, you get that rep. And if you're unsure of yourself of what you're doing, they will go and they will help you learn and teach you for
yeah.
sure.
So again, like you said, whether that's Jandy, Hayward, Aquastar, Pentair, whoever, even, just being friends with them and sharing with them, like you and I, we started this conversation talking about our visions, like how much more do we want to help each other because we've shared that. So like
Yeah.
my reps, like a lot of them know my vision and they know what I'm trying to do and they want to help build that. They want to be a part of that. So they're more eager to help. So I look at those guys as also mentors, to help me out. So you got to have a solid mentor team.
Yeah, definitely surround yourself by people that are better than you. I don't mind at all being the dumb one in the group, because the people that I surround myself are going to be people that know more than me. I don't want to be the smartest one in the group. A lot of people strive for that. Nah. I want to be the dumb one, because everybody that I have around me is going to help me level up. And that's what we want to do. We also want to be that to those people that are just starting off so that they can level up too. The whole point is for all of us to win. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Be careful of some of the threads on Facebook and things like that. You can learn from those things, but you also have to sometimes take it for a grain of salt. But yeah, just find the guys that want to help you and that are doing it right. If you can find them, like, yeah. So that's been a huge blessing for me is working with that crew, and Zach has just been, huge help for me. So
Awesome.
Going back to my journey, like that's where I learned was, and why I got the truck is so I could then start working for other guys. So after working with Zach, and going out with him, well, then I started earning his trust to do certain tasks. So if he needs like additional things done, I got the truck so that I could be that guy he could rely on to go out and, go clean a filter or do whatever he needed me to do, kind of a thing.
What's your day-to-day look like as your own boss, your own pool guy boss?
Yeah. So, it's right now I'm kind of like a chicken with its head cut off. It feels like at times. And we have 3 kids. My youngest is 4. And so she goes to preschool on certain days, and then they're only half days. And then my wife, like I mentioned, she's a rock star at what she does, but she's not self-employed. So we have to work together and communicate a lot and fit around each other's schedule. I get to spend a lot of time with my kids, which is just amazing, huge blessing. I look back at, dads in the 90s didn't have that luxury that,
Nah.
entrepreneurs and some of us have nowadays. So I spend a lot of time with my kids doing um, work that maybe traditionally husbands don't, didn't do.
Mhm.
But my wife and I, we gotta, just communicate, stay on top of it, and take care of our kids. And then pool stuff is kind of gets in between. I have my route day set on Thursdays, so I have
How many
uh,
pools do you service?
right now I'm up to 10, or might be just a couple
Nice.
over that. But I'm averaging about the last couple weeks. I've been getting about 1 or 2 a week. And so I'm starting to see some fruits from labors
There you go.
come through. I
That's
have,
another thing. People can't get discouraged
yeah,
because it's not like you start promoting and then you get calls. Nah, it's a
yeah,
slow process sometimes.
yeah. So and again, with my background, it was nice. Like, I built out my website. So I had some luxuries, I was able to do these things where some guys might not be able to right off the bat. And I built in automation to now where people can go and they can book appointments with me right there on my website. And then I get a text message saying, hey, you got a new appointment on this day. So like this morning I woke up and have a text like, oh, I have a new appointment on Tuesday next week. And I've been getting like 2 or 3 of those a week. Just from that system that I've built out. So it's good. It's growing. It's starting to grow faster. And then I'll pick up my truck next week with the pool wrap. But yeah, going back to your question, my weekly schedule, Tuesdays and Thursdays are the days that I have like really dedicated to the pool business. And then my Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I have like the morning time while my daughter's in school to focus on, if I need to go distribution and pick up stuff. Or I keep getting like these one-off jobs, where someone needs like a filter clean. They're not a regular client. I'll do those on those days, or green to cleans or whatever it is.
Do you service the pools that you currently have? Do you service them twice a week or once a week?
Once a week. Once a week.
Once a week. And what's your starting rate? Meaning, I'm not doing anything below this. And how'd you come up with that number?
Oh, that's a good question. So it's, with being so new, it's evolved a lot. So like, I'll tell you guys, my first pool was it was a referral from I cleaned this guy's filters. He had a friend who had a pool, just bought a house. Super simple dip pool, like 10,000 gallons salt cell. And he's like 25 minutes away. So it's a bit of a drive, but I charged him 120 plus chems. And I would tell people that, and they were like, dude, that's way too low. I'm like, yeah, but I don't feel like I can bring the value. I have to earn it before I can charge. And now when I quote people, so my background is sales. And so, or one of my backgrounds, I should say. And so one of my favorite closes is the dual close or the choice close. So I have 2 offers depending on the size of the pool that it is and how much time I think it's going to take. And so now I'll tell someone, I'll give them a chems included price, and I give that one first, and then I'll do a chems plus price. And so I'll say the other day I told the guys like, hey, I can do everything all included, $200, or I can do a chem plus for 160. And he was like, well, I like to know what it's going to be, so we'll do the 200. I'm like, okay. So very quickly I've gone from 120 plus chems to now like 160 plus chems, or like 180 all included, just depending on the pool.
Yeah. And I think that it's, and the reason I asked that question is because it's a learning experience. It's one of those topics where a lot of heat and it gets really heated on social media between pool guys. How much you charge? You charge too little. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, how is somebody supposed to figure out how to charge? How does somebody learn that? And that's why I always ask these questions, that question specifically to all my guests, is because I want to see how they process that, how they figured it out. I was like you. My thing was like, if I'm going to charge a certain price, it's because the quality is going to be there. I
Yeah.
don't want to charge that price if I know that my experience isn't there yet. So I started off here too. So I completely get it. And it's okay because you're learning. You learned and you adjusted. The whole point is to adjust. Don't stay right there on the bottom,
Yeah.
because then you'll never make money. But adjust, learn to adjust, see how much money you spend on chemicals, see if it's going to be included in the price, see what their backyard looks like. Do they have dogs? How often do they use the pool? All that stuff that you take into consideration. And now that you have a truck, your gas, your mileage, their wear and tear, all that stuff, you got to take all of that and put calculating into your equation and say, okay, this is going to be now my new minimum, which is 200 right now. Meaning, like you said, 200, that's your starting rate. You're not saying that's where you're at. That's your starting rate. You walk in and that pool's just clean.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then obviously it goes up from there.
Yeah, and so like you're asking like how I started. The way I looked at it at the beginning is an investment. So I was investing. I knew my prices were low, and as an investment to get the education, to get the experience, I was willing to make that sacrifice. But it was just that. It was a sacrifice. It wasn't the game, like that wasn't the end plan. I knew very quickly my prices were going to go up, and they are going up continually because with every pool I get, every client that I get, guess what? I'm getting better and my value goes up. And so something that, and again, having good mentors like Zach and things, they would always tell me like, you can't price pools as a single pole. If your goal is to become this, you have to price.
Yeah.
You got to price it as if you're an employee. And at the beginning, you might feel like, oh yeah, I'm overcharging because you're making more money. But once you have an employee and you're paying benefits and doing all these other things, well, guess what? You're not making a ton of money on each pool. And so I've very quickly been adjusting my prices. And just, yeah, any clients who are listening to this, jump on the ship now, get the deal now, call me up, get in now.
Sunday.
Get your low rate pool now, because in the future you want this. It's just going up and up.
It's going to be gone.
Yeah. But I think also a big thing too, a big mistake that I've been seeing as I've been talking to different clients and just observing the industry is lack of communication. What I mean by that is communication with customers on what those rates are going to be. So when I bring on a new pool, I'll tell them, like, hey, we can start you out chems included right now at 200, but it's cooling down, and I don't know what your pool's going to look like in the summer. Seasons change. And if your pool starts becoming like a more problem pool or taking more time, we might have that conversation where I have to raise it $20 or $40, but just because, it's taking more time. And I have that conversation with them on the first day so that it's not a surprise later if I do need to raise things. And they understand it too. Like a lot of them have been understanding of that and being like, oh yeah, that makes sense to me. Like,
right.
And
I learned the 3-month approach, where it's like, hey, we're going to do a review in 3 months, 3 to 4 months. And if anything's changed, meaning like, okay, I've been servicing your pool for 4 months already, 3 months, and I've noticed this pattern, or I'm having to use more of this or do this, then your price is going to adjust then. But just to give you a heads up, this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing that approach as well, which you, like you said, it makes sense. And they're like, yeah. You don't know my pool. You're just looking at what you're looking at right now. Right now it looks clean and perfect,
Or like another example of that is I picked up this client and they were like, yeah, my last pool guy, he almost fired us and he yelled at us because my kids, the toys were in the pool, And so I'm like, wow, that's not okay. Like, you can't yell at a client. Like, in this scenario, I'm like, yeah, that's not okay. It's your pool. Like, you're welcome to leave the toys in the pool. But if I have to spend 10, 15 minutes getting the toys out, just so you know, I am going to have to increase your rate.
Right.
So if you don't want that, just take your toys out. Like, that's fine. And they go, oh yeah, totally.
It puts the ball back in their court.
Yeah. And they were totally like, oh yeah, that's fine. That makes sense to us. I'm like, yeah. They're like, if the other pool guy had said that, it would have been different. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, because the kids aren't thinking. They're not like, oh, the pool guy's gonna be here and have to work extra because I left my. They're just having fun. They're being kids.
Yeah.
So, and the parents aren't really thinking about the toys as well. So, if you put it like that to them, now they're like, hey, I ain't trying to pay that much on the pool bill, so let me help out too.
Yeah. Or like this last week, I had a customer where I think they had a gardener, or it wasn't a gardener, but they had their trees trimmed, and it was just, they thrashed the pool, man. They thrashed it. And I showed up and I couldn't get it clean in 30 minutes. And I had another appointment that I had to get to. So I did the best that I could. I put as much time into it that I was allotted and could get it clean. And then I called the customer up. I'm like, hey, I did everything I could in 30 minutes. I think I actually gave him 45 minutes, which is, more than I should have. But I gave them the time. I did everything I could. But it looks like you guys had someone come trim trees and they kind of left all this debris. I can't get it right now, but I can come back another day. I will have to charge you more. In the future, if this happens, let me know ahead of time. If you see your pool and you know it's going to take more than long, let me know ahead of time so I can adjust my schedule, and then I won't have to charge as much. I'm not going to have to charge a 120 visit fee to come clean your pool. Or you can wait till next week,
Or you could just tell the gardener, hey, clean up after yourself. It's only the right thing to do. Like I tell I tell clients, I'm like, do you think it's fair that we're getting the energy because the pool looks the way it looks because the gardener didn't do their job correctly? Because that's part of their job. You don't see us cleaning pump baskets and tossing the debris in the lawn and leaving it there. Or all the leaves that we pick up from the pool, we don't dump them on the grass and just leave them there because it's our job to take our trash with us. So it's only the right thing for them to clean up after themselves. Yeah. Now, if you want, I tell them, if you want, we'll purchase a net, a pole. We could leave it right there. And when the gardeners are here, they could use it to clean up after themselves if they don't have it. And most of the time, they're like, yep, let's do it. Or they'll talk to their gardeners, and the next visit, you get the side eye from the gardener, but it's cool. The pool looks clean.
Or just make sure you get there before they get there.
Right. Take the picture real quick. Hey, it was clean when I showed up.
Yeah.
But man, being a pool guy is interesting, bro. You get a lot of stories out of it for sure.
Yeah. But I find that just communication is a big thing. Yeah. Just knowing how to communicate. Big time.
I like that. I like how you said because I do that too. I do that as well. I do something, I text the client. I clean this, I text the client. I noticed the side gate was open. I take a picture, text the client, because now you're, like you said, you're making yourself valuable. It's like, oh, whenever Peter shows up, he looks after my property. I have a lot of clients that are snowbirds out here, which they're only here, 6 months out of the year, 4 months out of the year, and then they're gone. So their property is just sitting there by itself. The property manager shows up once a week and looks at it, but a lot of things could happen between those visits. So I like to make sure that whenever I tell my employee, I was like, whenever we're there, when you're walking to the pool, look around, see if you see a broken window, see if you see notice anything, a leak, anything like that, because these properties people aren't living there right now. So, this way we're taking care of it as well.
Yeah.
You could say it's not our job, but at the end of it, it's making you, like you said, is making you valuable to that person. And they're going to think twice before letting you go if a situation comes up.
Yeah. If anybody ever says like, oh, you're too expensive, or, I think your pricing is too high, what they're really saying is, I don't think you're giving me enough value, or they don't see the value in that. So it's up to you as the business owner to find a way to close that gap. And I always want to be on the other side of it, where they think like they're getting a deal. Like, that's my goals. I want them to always feel like they're getting a deal. So I'll do things, whatever I can, really, to show that. And it goes back to what we were talking about with the builders, you know, and how you get in with the builders and get the pipeline. It's, you got to provide that value, make yourself so valuable to the builder, to the customer, you know, checking for their windows, where you're a second set of eyes, that they can't imagine doing this without you. If you can get to that point, I mean, you can charge a lot more than the average guy, you know? So,
Yeah.
and there's, I'm constantly, like, when I'm driving from and doing my route, I'm listening to different books, and just thinking of different ways, like, how can I market different? How can I show that value, create that relationship, especially as I'm trying to raise my rates and go after more, um, prestigious clients. That's been a big thing, top of mind for me.
Well, I'm happy and glad to see your journey on Instagram and see your story as you're evolving. You came under my radar a couple months ago, and I was like, hey, I kind of like this guy. This guy's cool. So, and then knowing that you just started off in the business, and I'm invested. I want to see where this goes, especially knowing your goal, your journey, your not your journey, your, what did you say, your dream, your
Vision.
vision. Thank you. Knowing your vision, like I'm like, all right, I got to see this play out, because it's
Oh,
a good one. I really
thank
like
you.
it, bro. Yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you. Yeah,
Anything you want to share? Anything else you want to share?
oh man, we've talked about a lot of stuff. I just, other pool guys, whether you're thinking about starting, the guys who are starting, or the old heads who might struggle with social media, whatever, anybody in between,
Yeah.
feel free to
Keep
reach out.
typing one fingers at a time.
looking down at the phone. Yeah.
with the
Yeah,
glasses.
yeah, that one right there. That one right there. Yeah, I shouldn't be making jokes about that. I had LASIK. I had LASIK a couple of years ago, like 5 years ago, and
Oh,
nowadays
so
I'm
that's
like,
so that's bullying, bro. That's bullying.
so yeah, like I'll be on my phone, I'll be like going like this, like, oh, what is this saying? So yeah,
But I always like finishing the podcast, having you give one piece of advice to the listener, pool related, not pool related, business related, doesn't matter what, something that you feel like, you know what, here's a takeaway. If you didn't listen to anything, this one right here.
I would say, oh man, that's tough. My motto, I would say, for Fresh Pools is we treat, and right now it's but when I have a team, it'll be us.
You and your wife, bro.
Yeah. We treat your pool as if it's our own. And I think if you do that, if you have that mentality of where your client, whoever, you're going to treat their pool as if it's your own, you're going to be all right. You're going to do the right thing. Doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes, but if it's your own pool, you're going to fix those mistakes and you're going to correct those mistakes. And so that's what I do with my customers. And I think that would be my advice, is treat everybody's pool, treat their house, treat their yard as if it's your own, and find a way to just make it better. So, it drives me nuts, and I might get some heat on this. I probably will. And I hope to. I hope I get guys coming at me for what I'm about to say, is guys that are in and out within 5 to 10 minutes. Like, shame on you guys. Like, if you're charging a lot, shame on you. And you can say, oh, but I'm experienced, so I know how to do it in 5 to 10 minutes. You know what? That's great. You have the experience. Well, then find something else to make it better for them. Like, if they have lawn chairs out, get out a rag and wipe down the lawn chairs for them. Like, spend 5 minutes doing that. Because these people are trusting you with their property, with their pools, and pools are expensive. Like, so if you're there to make, a quick buck in 5-10 minutes, like shame on you, man. Like, do something different to make yourself better and make it look better than when you got there. And I'll probably take some heat for that, because the faster you do the pool, the more money it makes you, and you can take on more stuff. But I disagree with that. I really do disagree with that method, and I'll poach on customers to poach on those guys and take customers from you all day if that's your mentality. because I do have pools that I can do in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But like I said, I will pick up a rag and I will go wipe their lawn chairs down. Or if I see their hose out, I will go fold up their hose and make it look nice. Or if their trash cans are out, I will go pull in their trash cans. So I am there for 15, 20 minutes and earning that business, earning every bit of it. And so, a little bit of a tangent there. Hey, that's
no. Listen,
that's how you get an invitation to a second one right there. You
Yo,
drop
there
the
it is.
ball,
Hey, part
Mike.
2. Let's go. No, make that extra effort, go that extra mile. The golden rule, treat others like you want to be treated, treat their property like you want your property be treated. I'm right there with you. And if they come after you, bro, I'm right. We'll go at them together, bro. For sure. It's not a bad mindset to have.
Yeah.
Looking after other people's property because you want to provide some sort of value. Maybe, like you said, you feel like, man, I finished this pool pretty quick. I don't feel like I provided some kind of value, even though you did. You still sometimes might feel like that. So yeah, go that extra mile if you can, if you want. It doesn't hurt. It will help for sure.
No, and it goes back to what we were talking about making yourself valuable to them.
Yeah, but
So.
it might make some clients have that expectation every time you go. You clean the lawn chairs.
That's true. That's true.
And then you get busy and you're like, crap, I can't be cleaning lawn chairs all the time.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair. But yeah.
Nah, thank you so much for being on here, Max. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Fresh Pools. You can check out our website, freshpools.com or freshpoolsaz, excuse me, freshpoolsaz for Arizona, freshpoolsaz.com. Instagram, Fresh Pools AZ. That's pretty much it for everything. Fresh Pools AZ is we got that on Facebook as well. So
there you go, guys. Hey, thanks so much, Max, for being on here, for sharing your story. We're definitely going to do this again.
awesome.
I'm thinking I want to do a follow-up and see where you're at.
Awesome.
For sure.
Reality TV, reality podcast, man.
Yeah,
Follow along,
man.
watch the journey, man.
Hey, are you going to be at the expo in Vegas?
I won't be in Vegas. Got some other things going on, so I won't be at Vegas. I'm planning, I think there's going to be one in Phoenix here soon before the end of the year. And I think there's one in, is it Laguna in February or something, or March? Laguna Beach.
I know there was the one in Long Beach.
Or Long Beach, that's it. Yeah, the one in Long Beach next year. So I'm planning on going to that one too.
I'll see you there on that one then.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be at the Vegas one. I'm going to the Vegas one. And then I always go to the Vegas and I go to the Long Beach one.
Okay.
For sure.
So my story earlier about getting my car broken into, that was in Vegas. So Vegas put a bad taste in my mouth too recently. So I'm going to stay away from Vegas for a little bit.
You're like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go back.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys have any questions for my brother here, Max, hit him up. Go follow him on Instagram. Check out his stories. It's not only entertaining, but also you learn a little bit and you watch his journey as a pool guy. So thanks a lot, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Orale.